Look at the camera.
Hi, my name is Sarah Silverman.
I'm Heather Charlotto.
I'm Audrey Vogel.
I'm Katie Schaefer.
And I'm Lauren Bestoff.
And we are all a part of the Elementary and Special Education program here at the University of Hartford.
So this is a public service announcement about students with learning disabilities in math. A learning disability in math is a lifelong condition where students have trouble performing math-related tasks. Students may not understand concepts such as biggest versus smallest. They also may have trouble understanding that the numeral 5 is the same as the word 5. Students with disabilities in math also may have a hard time holding numbers in mind during multiple step problems. So learning disability in math may be just as prevalent as dyslexia.
All right, class, time to put away your notes. I'm handing out our math test for today. So here we go, and here you go. You guys may begin.
Students with learning disabilities in math may have trouble with comprehension of concepts, operations, and relations of numbers. They may not arrive at answers quickly or in a timely manner, and they'll have trouble finding strategies to use to solve problems. They may have difficulty processing information or identifying the important information in a math problem, particularly in word problems. Students may also have memory and vocabulary difficulties, as well as weak visual and/or spatial representational skills.
As Sarah's teacher, I have noticed that Sarah is very strong in reading and writing. However, she really struggles in math. We have started to screen Sarah in school to see if Sarah has a learning disability in math. We have given her standardized tests, and Sarah has not been performing well on the standardized test.
So having a math learning disability is really difficult. People don't understand why it's so hard for me to focus in class. They think I'm not paying attention or I'm not working hard, but it's really just that the numbers and the words, they all kind of jumble together in my mind, and it's really hard for me to make sense of anything the teacher is saying.
As a parent of a child with a disability, it's so hard to watch them struggle. Sarah's creative and intelligent, and she gets all A's in her writing assignments. And she loves reading, but there's just something that doesn't click in terms of math. It seems like she doesn't try, but that's actually not the case. She's failed so many times that she's convinced she's going to fail every time.
All right, class, I'm handing back your math tests. Here you go, Katie, and here you go, Sarah.
What'd you get?
Oh, I did okay.
Oh, good. Me too.
During tests and quizzes, it's really produces a lot of anxiety when I hear my peers start scribbling on their papers and I'm not even done reading the first problem.
She gets frustrated so easily and gives up, especially on homework. When we work on homework at home, it's like a battle. And it's so hard as a parent to watch her struggle like that.
So oftentimes I have the math in my head and I've learned how to do it, but it just doesn't formulate into an answer, and that happens a lot of times on tests and quizzes, and it's really frustrating because my answers don't show the extent of what I've learned before.
Students with a disability in math may understand the math they're doing and the logic behind it, but they may have trouble applying the math, especially during stressful times during tests.
Our next step is to move to intervention. This will allow us to give Sarah as much support as possible. In intervention, we will go over how to use calculators, problem-solving techniques, and low-stress algorithm problems that'll allow Sarah to be able to really benefit and succeed in math.
So I had the unique privilege to sit in on a planning and placement team meeting, also known as a PPT meeting, in which we talked about what strategies we would use to best teach Sarah. Effective and explicit instruction are key when teaching a child who has a disability in math. For Sarah, we decided it's best that she takes her tests and quizzes in a quiet space away from the other students so she can really focus on the task at hand. We also discussed guided practice and how that can help Sarah prepare for these tests and quizzes. We also came to the conclusion that Sarah should be at 100% mastery before we move on to anything more challenging. Teaching for mastery is so important, especially in mathematics when the student has a learning disability in math. The Connecticut State Department of Education website provides amazing resources for special education and classroom teachers alike. It provides resources for identifying children with learning disabilities, as well as the disability identification process. For instance, here are the 2010 guidelines for identifying children with learning disabilities. This is a great resource if you suspect a child has a learning disability. The State Department website also has guidelines on disability identification and the process one would go through if they suspect a child has a learning disability. So I definitely recommend looking at your State Department of Education website for additional resources when you suspect a child may have a disability.